Level 1. The kid with no options. You grow up where opportunity is a rumor. The roads are cracked. The schools are underfunded. Jobs are scarce. But the trucks aren't. Black SUVs with tinted windows roll through town like royalty. The men inside don't wear uniforms. But everyone knows who they work for. They pay cash. They fix problems. They protect their own. And they recruit quietly. You're 16 when someone notices you. Not because you're special. Because you're available. You're told it's simple. Just watch the road. Text if you see police. Easy money. No risk. At least that's what they say. You take the phone. You take the cash. You tell yourself it's temporary. It never is. Level 2. The Halcón, the lookout. Now you're official. Not important. Not trusted. But useful. You sit on rooftops. Park outside highways. Blend into crowds. Your job is information. Police movement. Military patrols. Strange vehicles. You learn quickly. Information is currency. And silence is survival. You notice how organized everything is. This isn't chaos. It's a network. Lookouts, drivers, handlers, accountants, enforcers. Each role replaceable, especially yours. You make decent money for your age. Enough to help your family. Enough to feel proud. But you also see what happens when someone makes a mistake. They disappear from the group chat. No explanation. Just gone. You stop asking questions. Level 3. The runner. You move up. Not because you asked, because you proved reliable. Now you transport product. Small loads at first. Hidden compartments. Rural routes. You memorize checkpoints. You memorize faces. You learn to act calm under pressure. Because fear attracts attention. You begin to understand the scale. This isn't local dealing. This is international supply. Northbound routes. Coastal routes. Cross-border coordination. You realize the cartel isn't just muscle. It's logistics, routes, timing, distribution. At this level, you feel invincible, young, untouchable, but you also feel something new, exposure. Because now you're carrying risk, and risk brings consequences. Level 4, the Sicario. You don't volunteer, you're selected. The transition is subtle. You're told to accompany someone, to handle a situation. You're given a weapon. You feel the weight of it, not just physically, but morally. You tell yourself it's necessary. Everyone does. You're protecting the organization, protecting your family, protecting your own survival. This is where the illusion breaks, because this level changes you. You stop seeing the world as neutral. Everyone is either threat or asset. You sleep lighter. You trust less. You harden. You earn more money, more respect, more fear. But respect inside the cartel is conditional, and fear attracts enemies. Level 5. The lieutenant. You command a small cell now, a crew beneath you. Lookouts, drivers, enforcers. You manage territory. You collect revenue. You report upward. You start thinking strategically. How to minimize attention. How to avoid unnecessary conflict. How to keep earnings stable. You see the business model clearly. Production, transport, distribution, money laundering, legitimate fronts, construction companies, farms, restaurants. You realize the cartel isn't just violence, it's infrastructure. You attend meetings with higher leadership. You see how alliances form between factions. Temporary peace, temporary truces, because stability means profit. You also see how quickly alliances collapse, because ambition never sleeps. Level 6. The Plaza boss. Now you control territory. A plaza, a corridor, a region. Your decisions affect entire communities. You decide which routes operate, which crews get priority, which disputes are settled quietly. You understand something powerful. Control of territory means control of economy. Shops operate because you allow it. Transport flows because you permit it. You collect taxes. Unofficially, you negotiate with local authorities. You manage relationships with corrupt officials. You begin walking a political line. At this level, the cartel and the state blur. You're no longer reacting. You're governing. But governance built on fear requires constant reinforcement. You rotate safe houses, change phones daily, limit meetings. Trust shrinks. Power grows. So does paranoia. Level 7. the regional commander. You oversee multiple plazas now. Your network stretches across states. You coordinate shipments at scale. You negotiate cross-border routes. You manage rival factions carefully. War between cartels isn't good for business, but weakness invites takeover. So you maintain balance. You attend high-level summits, neutral territory, heavily guarded rooms. Conversations are calm, professional, cold. You talk numbers, routes, security. You realize something unsettling. The organization you joined as a desperate teenager now rivals multinational corporations in complexity, accounting departments, security teams, legal advisors, international brokers. It's a shadow enterprise, efficient, adaptive, global, and you are deeply inside it. Level 8, the inner circle. You sit close to the top and now. You see the full picture. Supply chains stretching from rural production zones to global markets. You see financial operations, offshore accounts, layered transactions, crypto transfers, real estate portfolios. The cartel evolves. Technology reshapes risk, encrypted messaging, drone surveillance, digital tracking. You adapt. You modernize. You think like a CEO. But unlike a CEO, you can't resign. You can't publicly restructure. You can't issue a press release. You operate in shadows, and shadows demand vigilance. You stop attending public events. You stop trusting extended family. You reduce your visible footprint because exposure is fatal. Level 9, the cartel leader. You reach the top, maybe through succession, maybe through consolidation, maybe because no one else survived long enough. You command an empire, revenue in the billions, influence across borders, networks embedded in multiple countries. You don't deal in small matters. You shape strategy, expansion into new markets, diversification into new trades, arms, fuel, cybercrime. You operate like a multinational enterprise without legal constraints. But power at this level is unstable. Every lieutenant beneath you calculates possibilities. Every rival analyzes weakness. Every government tracks patterns. You trust almost no one. Meetings are rare, short, controlled. You move constantly. Different houses, different cities, different countries. You've built a structure designed to outlive individuals, but individuals still threaten it. And you are the individual now. Level 10, the target. The higher you climb, the more visible you become. Governments form task forces. International agencies coordinate. Rewards are announced. Rival factions whisper. Your security expands. Armored convoys, encrypted systems, multiple identities. But security creates isolation. You can't walk freely, can't visit old neighborhoods, can't show your face openly. You have wealth beyond imagination, private estates, luxury vehicles, offshore accounts. But your world shrinks because the price of power is permanent alertness. You understand something now. There is no retirement plan in this hierarchy. There is only survival or removal. Level 11, the legacy question. You look back. The lookout with the phone, the runner on rural roads, the young enforcer proving loyalty. You justified every step. You told yourself you were protecting family, building stability, creating opportunity. But what did you build? Fear, dependence, instability masked as control, communities shaped by shadow governance. You see young boys watching your convoys the way you once did. They see power. They don't see the paranoia. They don't see the isolation. They don't see the constant calculation. They only see status, and the cycle prepares to repeat. Level 12, the truth. You thought the cartel was about money, then about respect, then about dominance. Now you know. It's about structure. A hierarchy built on loyalty, fear, and profit. It absorbs the ambitious. It rewards the ruthless. It consumes the hesitant. You climbed every level, from disposable lookout to strategic commander to isolated ruler. But each promotion narrowed your freedom. Each rise reduced your trust. Each victory increased your vulnerability. Because in this world, power isn't peace, it's pressure. And the higher you rise, the heavier it becomes. You wanted opportunity. You found influence. You built an empire, but the empire built walls around you. And once you reach the top, there's only one direction left. In a Mexican cartel, you don't just rise through the ranks. You become part of the machine, and the machine never truly lets you go.